I appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, make sure to hit that like button, as they did not share my live from yesterday until about 7 o'clock this morning, which really hurt the output, which is what seems to happen every time I do a live in the morning and at night now. They never put the nighttime live out until much later. So unless you're searching for it, it doesn't come out. So I greatly do appreciate anybody who's watching. If you're watching this before, if you're watching this after, please make sure to hit that like button so I can get my content out there, because it didn't push around to me. It hasn't shown it to my tablet that I'm using. It hasn't shown it on my phone. It hasn't showed it on the tablet that I use to watch the comments, which is under Julie's account. So the bottom line is I need your help more than ever to try to push my content out, because it's not sharing it on Facebook or YouTube. A very small percentage ever get my invites, so I have to do it manually, and then even then, barely anybody gets it. Less than 1% of the audience, it actually shows them getting some kind of a notification, which is not cool, but I mean, that's the way it goes. So we'll talk to who we talk to, and whoever gets to see the content, I appreciate you. And if you can't see the content, you know, sometimes it's out of your control and my control, so we'll just make it the best we can. But yeah, there's never a notice. It's a shame. I know when there's a notice and when there's not, because I didn't get anything. Now, when I shared just now my own personal notification, it came through on Julie, so I'm hopeful that some will get some. I mean, just now it gave me an update, but it showed me my 60-second update from this morning on this tablet. So but yeah, right now everything had a sudden push up. This is some validation this morning, and I can show you a couple opportunities if we continue to push out that are set up in a way where if this continues on, which yesterday we were expecting a push up. We didn't know how far it would go. We were expecting XRP to come up to $2 and try to retest that area. But I can show you a couple that if we're going to get into a bullish overtake here, which is possible, that there's two of them that, in my eye, algo, if this pans out, has an inverse pattern that just set up on this back test. And this was our buy zone from the drop point here. You're waiting from 12.6 to try to buy it on this downtrending support. And right now it's only at 11.6. And it fell out from over 13 cents. But when it got rejected, it was about 12.6. So that's 10% even from here. So, I mean, it's debatable. The daily time frame has plenty of room to move up. Like we said 2 days ago, that if there's a sneaky bottom to form, we could have a sneaky bottom because we need to back test the top side. And what would that look like? I mean, it could simply be a retest up here at 12.3, which isn't a crazy move, but that's if this holds. Epic, I would like to think, showed us something that we could get a volatile swing back up here across the market. So definitely something to watch. I'm definitely excited to see how this pans out. Silver, like we talked yesterday, was on its way to $67. And we drew it out yesterday. I'm surprised it happened this quickly. But we drew out the breakout target to 67. And if it passed that, we could go way up to in the 70s real quickly here. Gold's up 40-something dollars, $46 an ounce right now. It's something seems to be being prepared for what's going to happen Friday within the gold and silver markets. The miners are up a little bit. Dolly Varden recovered its losses from yesterday and ended up pushing up right now to $4.60. It was down at $4.34 at the low yesterday, I believe it was. So it's had a nice little reversal. But if silver continue, I still feel like Dolly Varden's going to have one of these 15-20% days out of nowhere. I really do. And I've been investing for it, so we'll see what happens. But that's neither here nor there. Crypto's having some positivity today. It's just we need to see if this was a fake out to the top side. These little moves that happen this quickly always make me nervous. But this could be the push up we need to finally get to the right side. So we'll see during this live if this was all hogwash or if this is something legitimate. Like I said, I would be watching not only algo to see how this maintains, to see if that inverse pattern starts to play out. I would also keep looking at XDC to see if it bounces off of this 467 because this could be validation, and then it would push back up to the resistance up near 5 cents. So this is another one, 504, that I would look at and see if we're starting to find some little bottoms here. I know Friday in 48 hours we have to deal with the Bank of Japan likely raising rates. So that would be interesting, because what ends up happening was that when the Bank of Japan, what ends up happening in the United States, for anybody who doesn't understand how it really works, when Bank of Japan, and this is a liquidity scare, like this pisses me off when they do stuff like this, but let me explain this. The Bank of Japan, when they raise rates, if they do, what ends up happening is now in the USA, risk assets get very badly beaten, because now they have to sell their holdings in risk assets. And what ends up happening is the treasury market, the bonds, the T-bills, all these things, they end up going out of whack, and we end up becoming insolvent in banks and other places. So what ends up happening is their holdings of risk assets are the first to go. So some are calling this the yen carry trade, or whatever you want to say, because the US dollar is going to just have a steep decline. Even in Canadian dollars versus the US, because my brother's in Canada for 3 months on a work visa, and it went from, like, he was getting $140 or $139 when he first got there. It was a little bit higher, and then all of a sudden it went down to like 120 or low 130s from mid 140s. It just happened pretty rapidly, so we'll see what kind of impact that this has on everything. I'm gonna do the intro, but I wanted to make sure to get around to this. I want to thank some of you for wishing me a happy birthday. Yes, it is my 42nd birthday. I know I've been calling myself 42 for like the last 6 months, so even Julie was confused, thinking that I was 43 today. I'm serious. Like I said yesterday, I forgot that I was turning 42. I was thinking I was 43, and when I was like, wait a minute, I was born in 1983. That it's not 2026 right now. So even she wished me a happy 43rd birthday today in a message, even though we're in the same house. Because of how I've been saying that. But anyhow, if there's any reason to join this channel, it would be today, because it's my birthday. But I'm 42, so thank you, Areli, so much for not only being here, but the happy birthday wishes. Bright future, freedom. Thanks for being in Times Zone 3+ months with the XP Media, and also wishing everybody a good morning and a happy birthday. Thank you, Chuck, for the happy birthday. Mark Caston, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge, and also wishing me happy birthday. Thank you, mate. John Allen, definitely winning Wednesday. Yes, isn't it unique and opportunistic that it's winning Wednesdays today? Daniel Malika, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor, along with the Cannabis Podcast. And thank you, Cannabis Podcast, for being a very, very important part of this audience, doing your own thing as well, trying to teach everybody through the herbal ways of cannabis and so on and so forth. And also, I believe it says you sent a donation this morning as well. $4.99 says, smash the like for Tom's birthday. I really appreciate that, my friend. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Let's see. John Allen, good morning. John Wiseman, morning. Says no notice for the video. That seems to be a common theme, unfortunately. I did try to send my own out, but who knows who got that. Bright Future, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Media, along with Just Send It. And Edward, thank you guys for the happy birthdays as well as you, John Wiseman. Joe Schmo says, just got Saturday's update 10 minutes ago. I know, it's a shame. My update from last night only has like 600 and something views, because it just got put out for everybody this morning, like 10 minutes before I put out my 60-second short, which that's the second day in a row it's happened like that when I did 2 lives in the same day. MQT, thanks for the happy birthday. It says happy actual birthday. Thank you so much, my friend, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram and in Tom's Army for over 3+ months with the XP Meteor, along with Mrs. Stott as well. And thank you both for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate it so very much. I really do. Edward Burke, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Happy birthday, Tom. Make it a good for yourself. It's been good so far. Little shaky moments, but my son's doing great this morning. He had a good night of sleep. He was very happy to go to school. He slept in more today. So as long as he's doing good and Julie's happy, I'm happy. And my audience is happy. It's all I can ask for. Really, it is. Daniel, thanks for being in town on 6+ months with the XP Predictor and also the happy birthday wishes. Let's see. Tanya, welcome in, love. I know it's a busy, busy day when I come on at these times because generally you're at work. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the happy birthday wish as well. And your little message, definitely, I can understand where you're coming from. I don't want to talk about what you talked about, but I definitely feel for you there. And I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine, but I definitely admire the fact that you try to stay consistent every single day. And, you know, despite the personal stuff that you put an effort forward and you try to continue to make improvements for not just you, but your daughter as well. So I admire that. And thank you for not only believing in me by being in my army for over 3 years, but also the birthday wishes and being here this morning as well. It does mean a lot to me. My Yard Now, thanks for not only being in town for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, wishing me a happy birthday, but also a $9.99 donation. That's incredibly generous. Mr. Stott, thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. 43 years ago today, Tom most probably shit himself in front of everyone and didn't give a fuck. Happy birthday, Tom. Well, 43 years ago, I was still not even thought of, but 42 years ago, yes. I told you, I kept telling everybody I was 42. Everybody thinks I'm 43 today. It's actually kind of sombering. I feel like I didn't age this year because I thought I was 42 for the last 6 months. I don't know why I kept saying it. Oh, this only happened one other time in my life. I kept telling everybody I was like 30 when I was 29, so everybody thought I was turning 31 on my 30th birthday. I even tricked myself. This is only the second time I've ever tricked myself like this. I love it. I'm a year older, but yet I stayed the same. But now I look that much better because I'm a year older, technically. But I'm also the fittest I've ever been. Like, I'm actually the fittest I've ever been, which is kind of a nice thing. And at 42, seeing my hairline looks the way it does is kind of nice, though. I guess there's some sombering things and some nice things to be grateful for. But let me continue. I digress before everybody leaves. Michael and Carl, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And also, Michael says, good morning, Tom. Are you still on the sideline or did you get back in on crypto? No, still on the sideline. Didn't buy anything that I hadn't bought in before. The only thing that I have is like Epic on crypto.com because of how ridiculous the fees are in and out. So I'm just holding it until it tells me otherwise. And then I have XRP Healthcare and XRP. But like as far as the algo and everything, no, I haven't bought anything else back. I'm still waiting for this incredibly bizarre moment that we're in because of the Bank of Japan, what they're about to do. So no, I am not. I haven't done anything different than what I've said the last few days. And I will be the first to tell you if I did. Bearded Viking, welcome in. Hope Mighty Marcus is doing good and he continues to fight the good fight. We're here for him and praying for him. Says, can't join today. Tom, we have no power in a big storm in, is that Washington? Which is critical for our situation, as you know. Be blessed, everyone, and I'm praying for blessings and favor for all. Wow. Yeah, we definitely pray for your power to get back. And I know too well that you definitely rely on that power for Mighty Marcus's situation. No, it really puts it in perspective, honestly. Kind of needed that to read that, Bearded Viking. I pray for you guys. That puts things in better perspective today. I want to take a breath with everybody real quick. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I feel like it's important to feel this moment and let our emotions kind of take a back seat so that we can open up our hearts and our mind to what's going on in this actual time in crypto. It was a big emotional tug for everybody seeing Bitcoin go to 90K. But if this got rejected here, that just built the base to have an unbelievable fall through here. So I'm just letting it happen until it proves to me otherwise. I don't know. Hopefully that's not a big shakeout here, but that's incredible how fast that dumped out. Incredible. And I also feel this all-encompassing power, especially the last couple of weeks. I believe everybody who's here, we're here for a reason. Like, it's not by accident that we not only found each other, but we stuck around, we listened to the message that we each have for each other. There's got to be a deeper meaning why, in this exact moment in history, that we're here together. Not just one day, but for years. And now in this great moment, we're expanding to over, now we have 48,600 subscribers, which is a true blessing. When I started this year, I think we're in the low 30s, mid 30s. So it's been a great year for subscribers, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. People are still finding, and I feel like we're finding each other for a reason. I can't explain it. I have that feeling. CJ2 Pilot, thank you for not only being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge, but also the $19.99 donation through the Super Chat, and also wishing me a happy birthday. That is unbelievable. Thank you so much for that generosity. And I have one that I seen reminding me from all your generosity. Somebody sent me a PayPal this morning, which I don't get many PayPals. But, oh man. Got a $10 donation, but it only shows the real name on here. So, like, I don't really want to say the person's name. Oh, he put it on the side. Jordan, thank you so much. I was going to say, I didn't want to say your real name that it shows on here. But Jordan, thank you so much for the $10 PayPal as well with the happy birthday. Said, I hope it's a magical day. Oh, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to make sure that I recognized that. Thank you so much for that. Seriously. Daniel Millick, you scored yourself an extra year. I know, right? Really, seriously. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months as well. You really helped me do what I need to do here. You really do. Rudy, thank you for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Media. Says a very special happy birthday to you, Tom. Thank you so much. I'm taking my time going through this because I want to recognize everybody's comments. Caesar, thank you for the happy birthday. I know, Mr. Stott, isn't it great? You thought I was 43 too. I'm telling you, I keep thinking I'm 43. And then Julie's message validated it. By the way, I want to show you what Julie got me. And it really, I want to show it for one reason. So you guys remember how I built that little thing out back? The little weight area where I lift weights? I obviously have something inside I can curl, like my curl bar. But Julie, for my birthday, she bought me this, and it's going to be hard to see. But, where's it at? You'll be able to see it kind of like this. Well, that's the weight guy. But, where's that? Does anything show what it is? Yeah, somewhere on the top. But what she bought me was all the weight plates go on that, so can put it together, and it sets up, and it almost looks like a Christmas tree, the one she bought. But I can put my weight plates on it. It's such a thoughtful gift because I have my weight plates are just sitting on the ground in the corners. So that was a much needed and very thoughtful gift. So Julie, if you're watching, I really appreciate it. Yes, we all pray that the power comes on for Bearded Viking because that needs to happen ASAP. You know, when more than one person speaks the name of our Lord and Savior, God is amongst us in our actions, and Yahweh and Yeshua can start to guide us in the way we need, and that's Jesus Christ for anybody who doesn't know in the USA. John Allen, welcome in. Hans, thanks for the not only being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, but also the $9.99 donation. Super generous people today on my birthday. I can tell you what I'm going to use all these super chats for. I already know. By everybody's good grace, their good graces today, I'm going to put this into a special gift for T for Christmas. And I already have an idea of what it's going to be. I'm counting it up in my head. These are very generous. Josh Jolly, thank you for the $10 donation on top of your other $10 donation. I believe it was you through PayPal. And thank you for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Media and also the happy birthday. So I'm not sending money to the wrong person. Are you receiving my PayPal funds again in hand? Yes, Josh. Yes, you are. I was so happy to see that was you because you put it at the end of your message. That was definitely you. So it's definitely going for you, my friend. You're not sending it to a random person. I can at least assure you of that now. Or not Josh Jolly, Jordan. Jordan sent the PayPal merged in with my other one because I was reading too quickly. But yeah, Jordan, I got yours. I even got the one that you sent me. You didn't have to because I talked about H-bar, but you were very generous. You sent a different super chat a couple of days ago for the H-bar one. That was a $5 one, and then, $5, and then today I got a $10 one for my birthday. So literally, you sent $15 in like the last, not even week. That's super generous. Like, that's hard-earned money, and in these times, man, I really appreciate that, Jordan. So you are not sending it to the wrong person. I actually received both of them, and I'm very blessed to have gotten those. And I'm glad that now you know. Dirty Train Rider, thanks for being in town. 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Not a single alert for the live, even though I sent out 2 other ones. Isn't that a shame? And thanks for the happy birthday, my friend. So awesome to see you in here. Bigfoot says happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. Oh, wait a minute. You're in Tom's Army for over... Oh, no, not Tom's Army. Sorry. I see a bunch of stuff on the screen. But Bigfoot, thanks for the $9.99 donation. For also sending a... Happy birthday, my friend. You don't know me, but I appreciate you. We all appreciate you, Tom. P.S. I was never here. Yeah, Bigfoot was never here. Never here. We don't want to, we don't want to, you know, out him. We don't want the government. Who said Buon Compleanno? Thank you so much. Happy birthday in Italian. I don't know much Italian, but I know that one. Buon Compleanno, or however you say it. But thank you for the happy birthday in Italian. I appreciate that, Alex. John Allen, 9:30 dump as expected. Isn't that crazy how this happens? So basically it pumps when the U.S. wakes up and it gives us the false. Look at how much this has gone up. I mean, gone down now. Now, Ethereum, did you see where it was at and it just updated for us? It just dropped down by $100. This is why I've said it all along. Just let this happen. I don't know what's going on with Epic. Where the hell did it go? Epic was up to like 61 cents. I don't know how it's doing now. Maybe it's still able to outperform the market. Yeah, it's still doing okay. It's just we'll see if this can continue to be kind of outride this. Or if this is just going to be chaotic, Bill, once it gets done. I don't know. There's such a small circulating supply that maybe this can be the one to outrun it. But okay, I'm not going to show that right now because I don't want to trick everybody and be like, hey, look, there's one running. WTI was also up a little bit this morning, and then all of a sudden it came down. Gold's up about $25. Silver's only up 2.75, well, only. But now it's going to have to consolidate. I don't know what's going on today. Don't know what's going on today. It feels like we're consolidating in mining stocks and gold and silver for a little bit of a move, it feels like. I could be wrong, though, because the way this is going, this could just pour out. But, like, with Dolly Varden, if this plays out, this is going to go over $5 here. Like, it's so weird because, like, crypto looks like it's coming up to rejection. And even though the miners, or gold and silver, has gone up so much, they keep validating support hits. If this validates this backdrop here this morning, you're talking about $5 that's coming up to, and at least trying to see if this is a double top. Or the other thing I suspect that could be happening is maybe we're in some kind of wedge here. And maybe it would come back up here after. Maybe it would come back up for a third hit up here and be like, hey, $5.10 range or whatever. But I want to see this. I want to see this play out. But there is definitely something going on here with gold and silver. And I understand they're coming down right now and the miners are starting to pull down a little bit. But it's the fact they keep giving themselves a little bit of emphasis to the top side and then they're starting to dump down. It's a great question to ask yourself, especially with crypto. And it's what I asked in the title. I said, XRP and Bitcoin staggering year-end decline, correction or capitulation? It's a real question. Is this a correction or are we capitulating? If we're capitulating, we have to have one more big drop. and get that 15-20% drop when everybody's thinking it's about to go up. That was such a kick in the nuts this morning. What happened when XRP literally went to $1.98. Went to almost $1.99. Like, this would be a brutal rejection. If this actually turned around and it turns into a reversal, this is exactly how you build a shitstorm. This is how you build it. You build that false liquidity. You grab some more buyers from the top and you drop you just. Unfortunately, it's what we said yesterday. If it was me and I wanted to have maximum liquidity, I'd go up to $2 from here, from where it was yesterday at $1.85-ish. And that's exactly, I mean, it basically went up to $2 like we talked about yesterday for maximum, I mean, pain. Now, if this breaks down here, who knows? It's got a chance to hold on, but if they really want to liquidate everybody right now, this is going to be a disaster. They've built so much over-the-top liquidity now for this drop, it's going to hurt. This one will hurt. This one's going to hurt. So I said I'm waiting for the next big drop of 20, 25%. This is the second year in a row, by the way. It started out green on my birthday. Last year, it ended the big bullish run from mid-November, and it ended at the end of my birthday on the 17th. We literally capitulated during my live, and by 10 o'clock, we had dumped down 15, 20% from where we were at the live. We were capitulating live on air, which was incredible. And then my birthday will ever be known for the top. And then we steadily moved back up in January, but could never retake in most of the crypto. But everything is becoming a much, much better bargain here. There's no doubt about that. CJ2 Pilot says, wait till you get as old as I am. I have no idea how old I am. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You know, maybe it's better we forget how old we are. Honestly. Silver Days, good morning, and thanks for the happy birthday. You're welcome, Tanya. I love seeing you in here so much. You bring positivity whenever I see your name. And we get the more youthful mindset too. Like, I know Tanya's a lot younger than I am. But with the members in their 20s and then the members in their 30s, even the members in their teens, the members who are in their 40s like me, the ones in their 50s, 60s, 70s. We've got one person that says is 0.01% it says is 90 plus years old in my audience. So we've got people that are approaching 100 in their 90s. Everybody's got different levels of experience, and the ones that are older, here's a different mindset. They're not investing for themselves anymore, and that's a real interesting perspective to be listening to. Because if they're investing for the future and they've had success trading in their life, those are the kind of people you want to listen to, because they're investing in the things that actually matter going forward, and they've had the experience. See, even I don't have that experience. I'm investing now, not for myself, as you know, for my son, but my experience level isn't of somebody who's been investing through the depressions and, you know, through the 50s and 60s and all the uncertainty. So... oh, the squirrels are up at the door. Hold on, I gotta give them some peanuts. Our squirrel just hit the window. I don't think so. Oh, they're working over there. They got some.
Thank you. It's nice out. It's nice that the sun's out.
Brought your gift out here. I'm showing them. I showed the audience your gift. I'm really happy about it. I needed it really badly. So yeah, it's like we always say though, when we're looking at gold and silver and it's rising and then crypto starts rising, you got to look which one's actually playing true. And right now, it's not looking so good for crypto at the moment. Silver seems like it's trying to backtest a further move if it holds. It's crazy to, wow, so crazy. You know what's even crazier is the NASDAQ. Has anybody taken a look at the NASDAQ? Holy shit. We got the NASDAQ down 218 points now all of a sudden. Lord have mercy. Wow. And I like to put the NASDAQ down here so it's closer to crypto because we correlate much closer to the NASDAQ and crypto. That's wild, though. Look what happened to start the day. But you started here, and we had a nice little push up to start to 23,160. And now we've already fallen out an hour and a half into trading. I mean, we've fallen out. It's a wild swing. I mean, it's not a lot. It's a couple hundred points, but it's still a wild swing because we have that dot cross in the shorter time. And if we're building an inverse pattern, I mean, technically we could come down here. But I don't know, man. This is wild going into Friday. This is the kind of thing that could roll the stock market over what's happening with... If the Bank of Japan... It doesn't matter if it's a quarter point raise. Just them raising it is going to cause chaos. Look at this in the daily. For the first time in a little while, we flipped red on the MACD. That is insane. I know we're looking at that, but that's a direct correlation usually into the stock market. I mean, into the cryptocurrency and risk assets with the NASDAQ. That is wild. I know the NASDAQ futures, it's even worse. I think it's like 250. What is it at in real time again? Yeah, it's 50 points worse, I think. Although this is delayed. Technically the composite, so... Yeah, it's just delayed. The Total 3 and all that, we were seeing a couple percent gains in both of them. And like the others, Total 3 and Total were up. But as it turns out, they actually were just back testing that 3 trillion level for the total crypto, as it turns out. If this were to continue and we lost this because of this movement, the moment you come below 2.86, that's when you can finish out, because this technical drop from this area that we fell out of, rising wedge, was actually 2.52, so we still have room to fall. So, self-awareness, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. I just said a prayer online for the first time ever for a random stranger going through financial turmoil like so many. It's people like Tom and his followers that inspire me to do more. Thank you. Amen to that. Oh, no, not just because of me. It's this beautiful audience. And I believe that, you know, we build roots with others and we inspire others who are similar to ourselves. So I think the positivity that's engulfing this community over the last few years, I like that it can stem from me with my mindset and my attitude. But it literally, I can't do anything without everybody else being in that same frequency. And I believe we have something very, very unique here. I really do. RCK and Zim, thanks for the happy birthday. Denis, I'm very good this morning. Thank you very much. Rob Clement, thanks for the happy birthday. Salah says, Tom, I listened to your stuff for years. God bless you and the community. Amen, and bless you too, my friend. I really appreciate it, Salah. Salah Hunden. Yubi. Your name isn't secret, Jordan? Okay, perfect. But I'm still going to say Jordan on here until I accidentally say it if I'm reading it on the other thing. Rob Clement, thanks for the $4.99 donation. Mark Smith, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor and the happy birthday. I really appreciate it. Celestine Price. I'm going to have to expand my mind a little deeper in my yard. Now I wasn't even thinking that. JBHK, happy birthday to me. Thank you so much for that, JBHK, and also being a very trusted mod in here. Beautiful, beautiful people in here. Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in here. I can't believe it's been so long that you've been in Tom's Army now. Over a year, in fact, with the I Told You So badge. And it's such a helpful mod in here and in the Telegram. Beautiful soul there as well. Mark Korf, thank you for the $19.99 donation. Says, happy birthday, Tom. Thank you for that. and says, get a spliff on me. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you, my friend. I love it. Catholic Faith Channel, thank you so much for still being a part of this audience. And thank you for the happy birthday. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. I didn't know I was 14 minutes behind on the comments. But thank you, everybody, seriously, for the birthday wishes. I've heard in 2 days Japan may raise their interest. Yep, Lonzo, that is correct. I shared in the last couple of days. And we've talked about what the possibility could be if they do this. That's why we just got to let this happen right now in the market. We don't know what's going to happen. And I said yesterday and the day before, if you're looking for a position, you can't be a trader anymore. If you buy, make sure this next time you buy, you're sitting on it for a while. And that doesn't mean you can't lose 50%, but I'm saying, like, I want you to have the mindset of the next time I buy, I'm sitting on it. So the next purchase has to be the purchase. So even if it goes up 5-10% or it needs to validate, that's fine. You'd rather it validate a little bit higher. You're older than me, Tanya? I don't believe it. I'll never admit it. Not the picture I see of you. That's a mid-20s if I've ever seen it. You don't see me winking. You can't give away secrets, Tanya. Hey, I speak in a very nice way. Tanya, you're not supposed to give out the secret. 2 Ravens, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRB 589 Moon Badge. Good morning to you. John says I have shelled nuts out for the birds and squirrels too. Everyone should help the animals. I do it every year, and I put some seeds out there. I love it because I believe they use a lot of energy in the winter. So if we can keep them from having to waste a lot of their reserves, it gets a little bit easier for them. You should see how happy they are coming to the door. The little squirrels, and John, you know, they put their hands on their heart. They go like this as they're waiting for you. They're like, and they do it. It's so cute. Yeah, we are dumping right now. It was definitely a harsh hit where it hit. But who knows? Who knows if this takes it all the way? But that doesn't look great in the daily now. That daily makes it look a little bearish. That's a definite bottom end candle there. I mean, yeah. It's kind of a bad pull down there. Thank you for the happy birthday, Lonzo. I appreciate it. I hustle harder than you with the $10 donation. It says, happy birthday, brother. May God bless you and your family. Amen, and bless you as well, my friend. Could it be that XDC front ran this move? It absolutely could be. We talked about that yesterday. Let XDC show us the way this time because it actually front ran it the last time. Your perception is on point. I hustle harder than you because that was a main topic of discussion yesterday. When we were starting to get a little bit of upward movement. Is that my cat outside? No. I guess that's just the animals. I thought that was my cat. That's just the squirrels. But yeah, it absolutely could be. And right now you can see in the daily, that's a huge reversal. And if we lose 4.6, we very well could be coming down to that 4.3. But you see how they faked us out for a day. So there were some people that bought in when it came below here. And let's just say they were able to buy it at 4.69. They had a fantastic run up of 8.3%. But now the next day, it gave it all back to where they could possibly be in a loss right now. And now they're having some issues. Even with H-bar, I remember somebody asked me about the purchase, and I said, it's not that I hate your purchase, because this could very well be the floor if we can hold 11,036. The problem is the technical target is 959 out of that breakdown. So that could put you 15%. I got an email, if anybody remembers. No, not an email for that one. I got somebody sent me in on a, not super chat, but in the live chat. The super chat was about SHX, or the private message when somebody was mad was about SHX. And I explained my point, and it played true to what I was saying. I said you might as well just take that 1.5% loss up here. Remember when it hit 009 again? And they thought that it was actually breaking out, and they got mad at me because it went over to here to 8. It was actually 8.5. But they bought it somewhere when it was up here, and then it came down. And I said, hey, you're going to get one back test here, but you got to, you just, either here or when it back tests rejection, you can sell it. I didn't know it was going to come back around like that again. But it was 1.5% they were down. And I said, just eat it unless you're willing to hold it as it plays down. And now instead of 1.5, it's 8.8. Now, you might have intended on eating it, but now as it gets to 10, 15, 20%, because the technical drop should bring us at least 15 from that rejection point. And then the possibility is it brings us like much worse. I'm telling you, this is either a spot where if you were buying, like with Linnea is the same case. We've talked about the same thing because if it breaks this 6.4, who knows where we go? We might come all the way back to 5.15. I mean, we're on death's doorstep here in a lot of ways for cryptocurrency. I'm telling you, these little BS pushes up like this, that push up, that is just a bigger drop down when it's in a downtrend. All this does is it builds false liquidity. So what? It had a 9 or 10% move across the board. Who cares? That move literally has already been absorbed in like a day. And now if it breaks through, the problem is now we got that added liquidity from over the top. No one says it's gonna happen, but what I'm saying is until it doesn't hold this downtrend, and I've been trying to speak to everybody, not just about the Bank of Japan, but how quantitative easing works in the USA. With how screwed we are right now, every single dollar that they printed, without exception, has to go into T-bills. And it's ironic that they did this right before the Bank of Japan is going to raise rates. They're trying to deleverage the risk by doing this, but that money can't find its way to crypto for at least 2 to 3 months here, probably. If it even does, because with certain catalysts that we didn't experience before, okay? We didn't have to deal with this in 23 to this level because things were a little bit different. The shit's hitting the fan right now. I don't know if you haven't noticed yet. I don't know if anybody hasn't noticed, but silver and gold's up 4,326. It's not like crazy today. So, but it's silver. That silver trade, yesterday when we were talking, it was at $62 and something, 63 on the retracement. And I don't know if it's going to carry out here or not. Who the hell knows? Who can really know now? Like, who knows? Like, we're talking about just on Tuesday, we were down here contemplating a breakout. And then last night we contemplated if this actually broke out, then it would be to 67. Now, maybe it came close enough, but Jesus. This is starting to go out of freaking... This is going to bozo land here now. We're going to bizarro world. And everybody who just thinks gold and silver, commodities, precious metals are just going to die. The problem is we got so many catalysts here that the price never actually goes up on these things. The US dollar is continuously being devalued and squeezed. And this is a big problem. Yeah, our gold and silver is going up, but our purchasing power is getting shit on for our US dollar. It's kind of a weird place to be at because when we go to the stores, it's costing us more. But yeah, we stored our value a little bit, but Jesus Lord, look at everything. All the investments are tanking. All of them. Aside from a certain sector, you're getting belly rolled. You're getting slaughtered. We're all getting slaughtered. Scotty trades gifted via PayPal. Ooh. I'm glad you said that. I don't get like notifications. I have to be on PayPal to see it. Let's see. Holy crap, Scotty Trades. Are you serious? That was super generous. He put $42 for your 42 years. Wow. That is super generous. Holy moly. Wow. Thank you, Scotty. MQT in chat. That's super generous. That's super generous. I'm just kind of blown away with these birthday wishes from everybody. And the super chats, like, it's blowing me away. Like, I don't remember the last time. I guess on the birthday, though. Wow. Mrs. Stott, thanks for not only being in Tom's Number 3+ months with the Extra Breed Meteor, but also the $19.99 donation. Man, I'm going to really be able to buy something special for T. Wow. Rob Clement, you absolutely did say that. We were on the same point there yesterday. Because I was talking about 88,005 something, I believe it was, for that rejection. And you were talking about near the 89,000 zone. Then dropped to 84. You absolutely said that. But I don't know if it's going to stop at 84. Technically, the drop down's a little bit farther. But I commend you. That's another person, like I say. Rob Clement, he's another person we can listen to when it's in a bearish or bullish tug. Because he actually told the truth and said, expect 89. And then he said, I immediately expected to. I remember this conversation. That's another person you can pay attention. That's why I like to get used to names when we're in weird times in the market. So now when Rob actually puts something that is about the technicals, we have to put a little bit of stock into it. Not a little bit, a lot of stock. Because it actually hit exactly where he was talking about yesterday. So kudos to you, my friend. Syrian, thanks for the $4.99 donation. All the help in here being a mod and being in Tom's Army for over a year. Says, happy birthday, Tom. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you have an excellent day. Thank you so much for that. You guys are all spoiling me today. It's unbelievable. Crypto Cooter, thanks for the being in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor and also a very trusted mod in here in the Telegram. Says, don't forget Trump speaks tonight to the nation about something. Yeah, I know. That's the crazy thing. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it seems like with everything with 3i Atlas and all this stuff, it's either we're going for a world war. Think about what he's doing in Venezuela. Not him, but what the central banks are making him do. You know what's going on. But it's either we're going to have World War III legitimately, or we're going to have a distraction of sorts. In 2020, they chose the pandemic. This time around, I believe Project Bluebeam is speaking its ugly head out the door. Because 3i Atlas and all this stuff, I mean, you could see it being something with AI, so to say, let's just say. I guess it did show me a notification from that. Thank you, MQ. I didn't even realize it would. Wow. But yeah, now we're down below $1.90. This is getting brutal. Not Bitcoin's back below 87. D. Rojas, thanks for the $4.99 donation with the happy birthday, brother. Cheers to many more. Thank you so much for that. Everybody who's been super generous this morning, sending happy birthdays, wishing happy birthdays. Anybody who's in Tom's Army, sending super chats. Even if you haven't, if you just hit the like button, share this. If you're just here this morning, oh, you're a huge blessing to me. You're a huge blessing to me. Mario, good morning. Oh, yeah, it might be about the marijuana rescheduling today. That's a good point. And then with healthcare, because the rates were supposed to go. Yeah, I guess so. That definitely could be about those things for sure. Ken, thanks for being in town. 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Silver just hit 66 this morning, or did it get back up there? Oh, it's climbing its way back up there, isn't it? Wow. Very interesting what's going on here right now. And simultaneously, crypto is just dropping. And Poppy Lou, you and Ken, thanks for being in town 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Hey Tom, happy birthday. Do you know the wick off accumulation schematic? XP seems to be going down the creek and getting ready for the spring. Yep, I definitely know it. I'm trying to do it in as not as painful ways. All I keep telling everybody right now is just let it happen. And I'm showing the lower levels as we take out these higher resistance levels and just fall farther. My motto is continuing to be let it happen. There's always going to be the traps, but we just got to let it happen right now. And then you got to find your spot where you trust the market. I just don't trust it yet. It hasn't given me any reason to trust it at this point. Tanya says, I honestly don't look my age. Absolutely not. You do not. Much, much younger looking. 49 times. There's no way. You look much, much younger. Much, much younger. Seriously. If I was looking at you by your picture, I would say you got to be in your lower 30s. I'm being serious. Like, you do not look that's you're seriously aging like fine wine. There's no doubt about that. Look at our audience, incredibly youthful. See? A youthful heart, youthful minds, youthful looks. Agony says, I think it's mostly priced in already because of the Buffett news, but I can still see a 15 to 20% move down for alts. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm not saying that it's not priced in what's coming, but I still think for to have that capitulation moment, wouldn't it have to dump down one more time when everybody thinks that it can't possibly drop anymore? And like the crypto fear and greed index went up to 16, which I was very disappointed about yesterday. I can't even, and this morning when it switched to 16 from 11, yes, I was very disappointed. I want to see it go down into the single digits, no joke. Joey McCaffrey, thanks for the $10 super chat. Also in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor, wishing me a happy birthday. People are so nice, Julie, today. So many happy birthdays. Jay Freemix, good morning. Mick, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So Bads and the happy birthday. Appreciate that. Good morning to you, my friend. Lisa, thank you for the happy birthday. Very, very humbled and happy and very honored to have you as part of this audience as well. Not just today, but every day. A lot of generous souls here wishing me a happy birthday this morning. John Wiseman says, I think we'll own nothing and be happy. That's what the motto is that they put out there a long time ago. Big Dog, thanks for being in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And also, wishing me a happy birthday. Very generous. MQ says, everyone talks 5 waves up and 5 waves down. I believe this is the midst of wave 3 of 5 down. I don't disagree with you. And you know what? I ironically agree with something you said. I think it was 2 days ago in the Telegram. Maybe it was 3 days ago. You put down in there, all these people that are talking about these microwaves, or they're talking about all of a sudden it's these 5 down and all. Where were they at fucking 4 months ago? I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I did not swear a lot this entire stream until just now. Oh man, I think I ruined it. I don't think did I swear at all this stream besides that? I blew you guys, not the kiss of death, but a birthday wish. And with the heart. But yeah, I agreed, MQ, when you were saying that. In the time, I think you even spoke about it here in the live one day, a couple days ago. It's like, where were all of these people? You missed my super chat when I got in, but happy birthday, Tom. Did I really? Holy crap, let me go back. Oh, CJ2 Pilot, thank you. I think you were the one who asked me, or who just said that. Where was that at? Where was that comment at? Oh, there we go. Crypto Cooter, I didn't see yours. You're right. Let's see. You go back through here. Crypto Cooter. Hopefully they show me so I can give you proper, thank you. There it is. There it is. Crypto Cooter, thank you for the $10 donation. I apologize. It must have skipped past and I didn't scroll up far enough. Thank you for not only being in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor, also a very trusted mod in here in the Telegram. Also wishing me a happy birthday with the $10 super chat. Says, just getting out of a meeting. Happy birthday, friend. I really appreciate that, Crypto Cooter. Thank you for telling me that I missed that. I would have felt bad later. Thank you so much. JG, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 2nd month with the Dusty's Autos Crypto News and saying, happy birthday, Tom. Thanks for all you do. I really appreciate that. On the year-to-date Fear and Greed, it looks like we are building up to the double bottom. That's what I'm hoping for, Cannabis Podcast. That is what I'm hoping for. I would like to take that out, personally. Tango, thanks for being in Tom's Army now for 10 months with the XRP Predictor. Only 2 months away from the I Told You So Bad yet 1 year. Tom, is there a calculation for price estimate of silver by just looking at the size and time of the big cup and handle? Yes. I already have it on here, believe it or not. There's actually a technical target. We're not even close to it yet. From this big cup and handle, it's a great question, Mr. Stott. I've got it targeted 100% perfectly, and that is $93.61 for the big cup. The handle target got us to $55 from $39.68. Then once we held that, we created a small target up to 67, which we basically finished. There's going to be a minor push to 79 at some point if it bases it just on standard appreciation. But the technical target here, and that's not the end target, but what the all-time cup and handle created was $93.61 in my opinion. Just my opinion, but that's the target that I have calculated for my own self. Hope that helps, Mr. Stott. May Mr. T see a whispering eye on his born day. Thank you, Bright Future. And thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP meter. We very well could have 2 more waves down. There is no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. And the fact MQ is speaking of this and stays open about this, it's so true. It's not untrue. This is my biggest fear of what's happening right now. John Bugathorpe says, and thanks for the being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So Bad, and also a $20 super chat. You guys are super generous this morning. For your birthday, Tom, profound thanks for sharing your gift. I was laid off 2023 after 20 years. The guidance you provide has enabled me to keep supporting my family and make obscene amounts. You're a talented, giving man of God. Thank you so much. And I remember when you were going through the trying time and you kept faith, and then you spoke about it a lot a couple years ago. I don't want to speak about what we talked about, but to the point where you had phone conversations too. And yeah, I'm so glad you're able to stay on the right side of town. Investing is not a zero-sum game, but when you do it properly, it's something interesting. And you prove it right there. You just proved it. So we lose 189, we go. No, not necessarily when we lose 189. There's a lot of micro levels. Let me just be very clear. We already hit 185. I mean, I suppose you're right, actually. Because the next level is going to be, it used to be 180, but now if you look at this, even here, it's 177. If we look at some of the other charts for XRP, so you had 177, and then on the way down, we got to put it in real time. 179. If we look at it in a slightly different way, we go to this chart now. That's 179. So then we go to the next one. The rejection was $2, and then underneath, which we got the rejection, we didn't break out. 177. That's why I like having a bunch of charts as well. Don't let anybody tell you that there's not enough information. This has always been my distribution box, and when we can't get out of it, we drop like hell, big time. We've never been able to sustain through the demand zone that I say is the demand zone, because we've never had the demand to bring us into full-blown discovery and hold it. And now if this comes down again, I mean, it built up another rejection level to prove to us now that we got rejected by distribution, and instead of people buying to get out of distribution, they sold it at the top and they redistributed into sellers. I really think that the way I look at it is on point. I know it's not the way people say, but yeah, 117 viewers on the 17th in XRP. Isn't that incredible? Is it telling us $1.17? No. I think you're right. It's telling us $1.77 MQ. It really is. Have you seen Black Mirror? Pretty good show. Depressing. Oh, absolutely. I've seen a ton of those episodes. Depressing, but think about some of the stuff that's been on there. It's very much on point, unfortunately. Israel, thanks for the Happy New Year, Tom. Thank you so much on the birthday wishes. Appreciate that. The Hey Dude says, happy birthday, Tom. May you have a great day today, bro. I appreciate that. It's been a very quick hour here already. That is craziness. I'm not ready to leave just yet, though. I haven't ate yet on my 42nd year. I gotta wait till noon. But Julie's making me homemade pretzels. You're making pretzels right now?
Yes.
Holy crap. Look at me. I might have to work out now. Well, because I can use the carbs for muscle building and my protein. It's been a pretty good year of muscle building, too. It's been over 3 years now since I've been back to weight training. And it's definitely made a difference now. I could flex. Some people always ask me to flex, but I never do. But you can see there's been, yeah, it's my birthday. I can't even see it properly. But it's hard to see over here because of the angle, but I guess you can see it a little bit. I can't because there's no light. Here, we'll give him some light. Let there be light! I can't even show it off because it's an improper view, but I guess you can see. But I wish people could see it more. Wish they could see it more on the screen. I don't take steroids or anything, so it's a slow, long, steady grind, right? It's a slow, long, steady grind. You think we hit 93 and have a big pullback? I don't know if we're gonna hit 93. That push up right now was the rejection, unfortunately, that I had, and we had to get past that not to get invalid or to not have a proper. And look at this. Like, we came up here. We even tried to make a play here, and we came above 88. 88, 89. It was in real time. It even made a play up to 90,300, and then that harsh turnaround in not even 4 hours. That's a brutal rejection, just so you know. in wave 3. Wave 4 is they move up to the bull market support bands. Yep. I think in wave 4 MQT, let's say we come down in wave 3. I believe wave 3 would be a buying opportunity, even if it's not a wave 3. But this next down, especially if we can get to some of those exhaustion wicks, I think that would be the appropriate time. And then let's say we held 80,000 for some reason on Bitcoin and at double bottom, maybe it comes to 79. That's where I could see if it's at wave 3 down and wave 4 up. Isn't that when it should technically come back up here, MQ, and retest what was the rising wedge breakdown as support? Now it's a resistance. Shouldn't it retest maybe 102? Is that where that would happen? I know I got a bunch of numbers up there, but ignore them. But isn't that where it should technically happen? If that's the case. And I know even lower, because I think for XRP, if it breaks down, I love it, Tanya, $1.60 and even lower too. But that $1.60 zone is synonymous. I do agree with that. Earlier in the year, we went down there and were able to hold it. And then we went down a little bit farther on that historic liquidation. Trading with J-Ride, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. Also sent a $10 super chat and said, while the rest of crypto world in fear, my mentor is enjoying his birthday feeding squirrels. Happy birthday, Tom. Yes, sir. Like, there's a lot of people that are very nervous in the markets, and I've never been more comfortable. I always tell people, judge me not on how I do in the bull market, but how I do getting you out of it before a bear market takes over. A lot of people outside this community are getting burnt right now. I agree. I think that's a reason, too, YouTube shadow bans me. Think about it. The more people that come in here, the more people that likely can save themselves at some point. But I don't think that's the objective for, you know, them in crypto. They need exit liquidity. They don't need us stealing the liquidity. Tanya, I'm going to put that down on here, too. Let me put it on this chart. Because I know $1.60 is synonymous on my chart, too, somewhere. I just can't remember where. See, even this shows $1.77 for the next drop down. Whew. I'm not saying the entire drop, but I'm saying it's showing that support level as a make it or break it point. And then you can start measuring. Like, if you want to get frisky here, everybody, on my birthday. If that falls out, you're looking at, in most cases, that would retest the exhaustion wick. In this case, it's at $1.01. But I mean, a fall out of this is telling you $1.14. If that, in fact, is a channel. Now, here's the problem here. I mean, we've been talking about this over and over and over and over and over again. If this was a bullish megaphone, you can't have this hot pink line continuously beating us down. It can't happen. This cannot be a rejection line. Otherwise, it changes the pattern. And maybe it materializes down to here at $1.69-ish, maybe even farther to $1.60 like Tanya said in this zone. But unless this is pushing us down here, and maybe it does come down to the 160 to 170 area, and then it pulls us back out up here, that's fine. But if this is squeezing down resistance when it's supposed to come up here for a megaphone, remember? Resistance, resistance. Even the extension it hit, but never came back up. Resistance, resistance. Keep getting rejected by the breakdown. Now it's back below. If this doesn't hold, it invalidates this pattern, and that's what this is telling you. It's telling you right now we are in danger zone. Anything below this hot pink line is danger. 100% danger. I may have 7 different charts of XRP and 10,000 different formations, but I know exactly what it's doing because of it. XRP is the easiest and hardest one that I've ever had to use to predict because you need to look at it from so many. You can't have one chart. MQ found that out the hard way, just like I did in the beginning. You cannot have one chart with XRP. And I only talk about Scotty Trades, MQT, because he's talked about this in the Telegram to people, how you have to have multiple charts. XRP might be the most simplistic one to do, but you got to have all the formations set up, and it's impossible to have it in all the same one. And it just is. So right now it's aiming towards $1.77 at minimum into that range. I know, Josh. It's unfortunate that, you know, there's so many people that are in it at the levels they are. Don't take this as a kick in the nuts. Take this as a learning experience. We've all been there. And the only reason some of us aren't there right now is because we were there before, believe me. It may not have been crypto, it might have been a different asset, but I've been there where you're at. I bought the big pump, thinking that it had a big pullback at 30, 40%. Hey, it's not at 370 anymore, it's at 280. Not even realizing I was still buying a pump because it came up from 28 cents on the floor, even 38 cents if you want to go from there last year. You're still talking about buying a pump, where it's 7, 8 times up from where you bought it. Probably 7. So it's still, even though it dumped 30%, it's there 40%, it's still a way overvalued asset. Crypto right now, with what's been happening, I haven't been talking like this since December for no reason. It's overvalued. Now we're getting back into a more valued range. There is no doubt about that. But the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it all back. It's not happening. I'm not going to sit here. And look, did I get nervous when we had those big fake outs to the top side, or did I say just let it happen? I'm not interested in trading. And everybody's asked me, and I've been honest. No, I didn't buy anything. What the hell's the point? But what is lining up right now, it is telling us you should be scared shitless right now in risk assets. You should be trying to get more sound money. And yeah, silver is going in berserk for some reason. I still think Dolly Varden is about to have a big breakout. And if it has a breakdown, I'm going to buy more. But it looks like to me that it's getting ready. And if this bull flag plays out properly, that first target that I showed you is nothing. If that's a W reversal and it plays out like it's supposed to, I mean, you're talking about Dolly Varden probably coming up near $6. That'd be incredible. And what silver's doing, I'm telling you, Samsung, they had to take independent buying from a Mexican mine, and they had to agree to $69 per ounce. Yesterday and the day before was at 61 when I was talking about it. And I said, this has to go up. There's no reason they're paying 69 if the price in the futures is going to stay below that. Because they need so much silver. This is crazy. As expected, if it's King Amorite, it's not here to make everyone rich. Nope. And MQ, wasn't that our biggest fear? It's almost why we started to talk more about the leverage side of things, because you could literally de-risk by having small amounts, even though I don't approve it because not a lot of people use it properly. But then you're not in a position the whole time, because to me it's not about time in market. It does become about time in market when you time it properly. And what I mean by that is if you're buying in a bear market properly, that's when you have to start doing that, not afterwards. Right now is not the time, because it's not about time and market. It really isn't. Yeah, 1 kilo silver batteries, Crypto Cooter. Thank you for enhancing the viewpoint and let's see, not only expanding but indulging the minds of others so they know exactly how much it's being used for. It's insane. Now all of a sudden Bitcoin, which was up almost $2,000 since I was on. You remember where Bitcoin was at when I started, right? Everything was up 2% when I started. Bitcoin was at like 90K. I didn't time myself to come on today the way I did at that time for no reason. Notice I came on almost an hour later today. And it's because it looked like the market. I wanted to either be a part of this if it was a bullish overtake or if my fears were founded and it became a fake out. And oh man, it's killing us right now. This is killing everybody. I don't know if even man, I don't know if anything's gonna be able to run unopposed. I don't know. I don't want to give any false hope, so we'll stay away from that right now. But look at this. This is brutal. Holy moly. We're starting to get into bend over central. Guys, Tom. Jerome is live. Jerome Powell? What's he live for?
Today, Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, Fed Chair Jerome Powell does not have a scheduled live...
What the hell is he talking about? If he says the wrong word, this is going to capsize. What is this scrub coming on? This is the last time we need him on. Are you serious right now? We're not going anywhere, folks. In fact, we're going to have a birthday relaxation together. I'm not in the mood to leave today. Fed chair announces new rate cut decision. Is this for real? Where the hell is this clown at? He ain't on Bloomberg. Are we really going to just drop it all today? Is this what's going on today? Holy hell. If he says the wrong word, we got a bunch of bear... What the hell's going on? Is he really live right now? Or is this fake? Is this real or is this fake?
Or a tenth or so on inflation. They may be big increases on a particular product that's been tariffed, but overall, these are fairly modest. I think, some projections go where 2.
This almost seems like fake. Is this fake? This looks fake to me. Yeah, this looks fake. Yeah, this is definitely fake. I'm sorry, but the Federal Reserve's page would have him on if it wasn't fake. See, this is the bullshit with AI now. Yeah, there ain't nothing on here. This is all BS. That's definitely a fake. You just seen it? Interesting. I want everybody to tell me if they're seeing something or not, because I don't know. But this certainly looks like they're bending us over for that 15% drop we talked about, if not more, in totality. But we haven't done anything. Remember, XRP's low was $1.85 before the fake push. I'm going to stay here with each and every one of you. It's been an hour and 11 minutes. I'd rather be nowhere else besides with my love, Julie, my son, her 2 kids, and with all of you, honestly. And the Michaela's at her dad's today, and Scarlett's at school, and T's at school, and Julie's here, and I got all of you. Julie? Julie? Do you want to come out here and relax with us? It's up to you. Okay. Just wanted to go grab this. We are definitely in a tumultuous moment. I mean, is there anybody in here who's just so appreciative that we can do this together and you're not on an island on your own? Because before I started this channel, in March 24th of 2021, I felt like I was on an island. And I may not talk a lot in the Telegram, but I read that and I respond when I have to, but I love seeing all the independent minds. I talk to Defined a lot. Not as much lately because he's been hunting and whatnot, and I was when my son got sick and stuff. But it's so different to have a group that we can talk to and all this other stuff. Oh, it's from December 10th, Tanya. Well, I'm glad you said that. And you guys talked about him being live because we can show the fake live they put on. That's the speculation that tonight, that's one of the speculations for tonight. There's been as far as he's going to reschedule cannabis from a Schedule 1. And they're going to change, or talk about healthcare, which I'm not sure that's going to be. But yeah, it's possible that he talks about a $1,000 payoff to everybody or whatever. Don't get too excited about it, though. Remember the last time they gave you a payoff, you had to pay it back in taxes. So don't get too excited, folks. Nothing's for free from this government. Just remember that. Mr. Stott, I wish you could too. I love the group hug. Yes. All right, let me go get Julie. That's the secret to getting the pretzels dark. We have to boil the baking soda. I did not know that.
Well, I think.
So you boil the baking soda in the water before cooking the pretzel?
Like how you do bagels.
Interesting. Hey,
Bagels.
our bagels are getting pretty good in the mornings. Yeah, we haven't ordered any bagels or bread or anything like that in a long time. Or muffins, or English or biscuits or anything. Julie's she's so good when it comes to all of that. I've learned a lot. Julie, the markets are not looking good on my birthday. No, it's a good thing for us. Well, not for everybody.
Today's also my brother's birthday.
Yeah, and today's Julie's brother's birthday, Jeremy. We share the same birthday. He just was born in 1979, so he's 46 today. See, and I even tricked Julie. She thought I was 43 today.
I know, I sent him a message.
So then I was even more confused. I'm like, am I actually 43? I had to really think about it. It would be awesome if they at least treated it like alcohol instead of these archaic laws again. I know. It's so true. Well, the good thing about it, too, if they reschedule it, not just from a prison sentence standpoint, but from a tax standpoint, it's taxed differently, so the pricing's a little different, but I feel like they give us something, but then they take something else away. The thing that really bothers me is the hemp seed thing. But the tetra levels, if it gets above, what was it, 0.3 or whatever, that they're not going to be able to ship them the seeds starting in 20. Like, that's a big deal. Like, that's just stupid. But that's because they want us to buy their own GMOs. But anyhow. Completely in silver until we see a bottom. Yep. That's how I feel. I mean, look at silver, Julie. $66.26.
Beautiful.
Will you give me the... It's right there, the ashtray, please, my love. Thank you. I'm still so happy about your gift you gave me. I can picture exactly where I'm going to put it and stack in the way. I'm going to look so professional now. No more tripping over things. Wow, $66.27. Unbelievable. Whew. Hey, crypto might not be pumping on my birthday, but silver, man, up 4% on the day. I'm just waiting for Dolly Varden, I'm telling you, guys. And people are like, well, how many shares do you have? Too many. With all the recent drops and everything, I went from literally 1,000 shares of Dolly Varden. I've been a busy bee. Every time it was dropping, went below 4, went around there, dropped again. And now it's like 4,000 plus shares. So if this guy does any, I think it's that many. I really do. It's like 4,222 shares now. Like, I really think with that merger and everything, something's happening here. I don't know how much it's going to go up or if it's going to crash down. I really don't know. But I do know it's on the verge of a pretty significant breakout here if it actually plays out. And people got nervous on the acquisition and all that good news. That's why the price kept dropping. Remember, it was well over 5. Well, not well over 5. I suppose that's a lie. Well, 536 is pretty high over 5 for a second. But then it went back down and back tested down at $3.40. But yeah, you could technically get up to that 580 level with just this push up. That's a nice inverse pattern. Man, it looks like it really wants to go up from here. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I feel like all the commodities are kind of just sitting back here waiting to see. But silver, I mean, just talking yesterday about that move. And we just did a quick TA and said $67 should be next. Oh, JW. JW, if you're watching, I did thank him on Telegram, but if you're, I want to read this. Well, even though I can't read it all. But anyhow, JW sent us a Christmas card and it was in Italian. And it was very thoughtful. Bless you, Julie. So JW, if you're watching on the Telegram, really appreciate it. Well, not the, but thank you so much for this Christmas card. Actually meant a lot to us. And then he sent us a nice little personal message to the family. So JW from all of us, we really appreciate it.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Cost me $70 for the cheapest 10-ounce silver bar last night after Trump's tweets. I know. And the problem is they raised the, because it's so hard to get this stuff, they're raising the premium on it. It hasn't been seen like this since, like, maybe ever. But 21 was bad. 22 was bad. Not this bad. 2020 was the worst because everything got, you know, it went up real quick. But then you ask yourself, you know, how fast, how high, how quickly can this continue to do this? We don't know. We're in an unprecedented time. All I know is in 26, the mining stocks are probably going to have a better year if it goes the way they're supposed to. That's when we should have complete capitulation. We're going to get to near 3 digits just based on the all-time cup and handle has us up near $94, 93 and some change. When do I think XRP will hit $3 again? It's going to take some time. Probably. We need to get this capitulation on the drop. Like, we really need it. We need this to fall out here when everybody thought we were going up. We really do. When you get into capitulation over correction, that's when everybody flips the script. And like, when it's way up there now, you need these, we need a fallout. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news to anybody who bought it high. But all the yen is starting to surge. That's not good either because that's a direct effect of what's coming on Friday. This whole thing is a mess. It's never been this messy in my life. This is horrible. But I've never been so in tune with how the economy works and how different sectors work than I have now. So when they say there's going to be a transformation of wealth, you're going to have people switching from wealth classes. That's what's going to happen here. And some of us by grace and just by understanding are going to be a part of it. But yeah, I don't know. The NASDAQ's now down 317. S&P's down 60. Dow's down 146. It's crazy. And that looks like a big bear flag coming to break down. If that breaks down, we could be down $600-700 in the NASDAQ if it goes down. Is it 155 to 1 right now, or US dollar to Japan? Is that what it said right now? Oh, there'll eventually be an alt season. It's just like I've been saying, it might not be like everybody thinks. Our alt season this time could be a 5 to 10x move in the market, but it's already down 80% from where everybody was buying it in the bull market, you know, in the run up. So it might look different for everybody. I don't doubt we're going to get some kind of alt season. May it be similar to November and how it was a month long? Who knows? But that's typically what crypto does. You get a small window. $10 rounds might get you more money than a 10-ounce bar. It's like that where I buy. Yeah, you have to be very, when you're looking at silver rounds and silver bars, you always look to see which one is the cheapest. I've experienced that myself in the States when I was buying silver. Sometimes the rounds would be cheaper than the bars, and sometimes the bars would be cheaper than the rounds. Yep, welcome to the revolution, the great global reserve. Or reset, I mean. But yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. It is it's wild how quickly the market shifted while we were live today. And I know we're going to have to end this in a minute or so, because we've been on for an hour and 25 minutes, and I want to go hang out with Julie. But yeah, that $69 Samsung purchase with the Mexican mine, they agreed to $69 per ounce. It does speak to the mining stocks blowing up at some point. And they've already been blowing up, but at some point, I don't think we've seen anything yet. That's the scary part. They're not even priced for 3,000 gold, let alone 4,300. They're not priced for $30 silver where they were selling, let alone $66. Now, some of these miners chose not to sell their reserves, and they wanted to wait. So they weren't pulling. They had the ability to take it out of the ground and sell, but they weren't doing it. They kept it in the ground. So some of the earnings were skewed. You know, that would be like Oh, man. I thought when he said rounds, he was talking about ammo. Oh. Nope, can't talk about that. Yeah, we're hunting silver bullets, right? What would institutions do if they knew they were taking over crypto? Man, exactly what I was saying on Friday last week when everybody thought we were going to have this big pump in crypto right away. And I said, listen, if they're going to do quantitative easing, we know they have to go into the T-bills first. But if they're going to use that, the federal government's going to use those funds to buy crypto. Do you think they're going to buy it at the prices they are? Or do you think they want to see a 25-30% drop? So then just when it retests, they're up 30% from the bottom. Just retesting the old support structures. That's what I think they wanted. How is Bitcoin and Ethereum looking? Not great, actually. Horrible. We came up to a perfect rejection. I think this chart's a better one to show just because it came back up into the short-term breakdown and actually got a rejection, which is not a good sign. The technical drop from here would get us, in a technical sense, would get us to 76,243 from that last rejection if it doesn't overtake it. Now, with the manipulated market, am I saying they can't reverse this in a heartbeat? I am not saying that. I am not saying that. Look what they did to Epic the last couple days. You know, look what they did to Epic. Ooh, it's starting to kind of seed a little bit. Okay, so if you're watching Epic and you want this to outperform the market, it can't come below 58, period. We won't keep harping on Epic because I don't want to show something that's the anomaly right now. Because they always have one anomaly to try to make your brain want to buy something. But if you're going to buy, don't buy in the green earlier. And if you were going to buy, look for the red. And now we're red. So, like, you know, you have to have that. At least the basic understanding is don't buy the green, buy the red if you're going to buy. You got to find the right times to buy the red, but it's better to buy red than green. So with that, I'm going to go help Julie because I want to see how she does this next up with the pretzels. Hopefully I'll be back tonight, but it's all dependent on how many... Oh, wait a minute. I can't. We have Scarlett's choir tonight. Yeah, she's got a little concert tonight, so if I do, it would be, what, after 8? It would have to be later on tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Forgot about that. So Bitcoin not looking great. It could recover here, no doubt, but it's got some work to do. And Ethereum looks awful. That rejection earlier is awful. It's pointing to, I continue to think it's coming down to 2,500 to the bottom of this setup, so... I've been watching CoinShop YouTube vids. Oh, those are great videos, actually. I need to get those back in my algorithm. And they all say the refiners aren't taking Interesting. I've heard that myself, actually. I'm planning on refining it myself. Not a bad idea. I wonder how much of a process that would be, Mr. Stott. Man, if some of us live closer together, we could have so much fun. We have so many similar enjoyments, this community. I wish we all lived closer together. To where we could just like, hey, we're going to go out back and have a fire tonight. Let's discuss this. Frankie Fresh, it's been going great, my friend. Thank you, Frankie Fresh, for the happy birthday. It's been going... Sorry, I was reading another comment. But I was excited to see your name. Hope you and Janine are doing fantastic and your hand's giving you that slightly more flexibility every day. I'm so glad to see you in here. What did Live in the Dream say? Did you hear that store our loyalty points are actually charging you more because you're collecting all your data? Wait a minute, what? The store where they store your loyalty points, they're actually charging you more because they're collecting all your data. I can't say that I'd be surprised if that's the case, to be honest. What's the market? Not looking great right now, Frankie Fresh. We had a fake out, unfortunately, like we were talking about yesterday, the top side. And right now it looks like Ethereum's got eyes for 2,500. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, but it really does look like it's eyeing that level. I mean, and that's the problem though. If we come way down there and we don't hold it, you've got a 3-layer setup. The next one would be like 1,600, and I'm not ready for that right now. If we break 2,500 and go to 16, you might as well just pack it up. Literally, you might as well just pack the shit up. Because we follow Ethereum for guidance. And if it fell through here, we're going into some kind of crypto winter here for the next few months. Until spring. At least until the second quarter. That's how serious this is right now. Like, I can't stress it enough the seriousness of the moment we're in. So, but we'll try to divulge on this later if I get the ability or the opportunity. Since Scarlett's got her concert tonight. And I'm not missing it. Unless my mom doesn't show up, but that's another story for another day. But be blessed, everybody, and thank you all for the birthday wishes, the super chats, the likes, the shares, the kind words. And I understand that we get shadow banned here, but at least we all still continue to find a way to be together because we look for each other around the same time. So